Hi, I'm Chris Thyberg, and I'm a results leader.
You're listening to ResultsLeader.fm. Being a thought leader is easy. Getting results is hard. This show is for the results leader who lives and dies by their results. Here is your host and Chief Results Leader, Jonathan Rivera.
Hey, welcome back to another edition of ResultsLeader.fm. So glad that you're here. And I want to jump into today's interview with Mr. Chris Thyberg, the founder of The Serving Way. He's an executive leadership coach who is dedicated to getting results. Not only that, but he's a great storyteller, as you'll see in this interview. Let's jump in. Chris, I am so glad that you are here. Welcome to the show. Are you ready to rock this thing?
Absolutely. Great talking to you before setting this up, and I'm excited to be here.
Man, let's give our listeners a quick win. What book have you given away most as a gift?
Well, over the years, it's changed. I love to give poetry, and I have some favorites like Mary Oliver and David White. But lately, I've been giving out a book by David White, one of his earliest ones called Crossing the Unknown Sea, Work as a Pilgrimage of Identity. And then at the bottom, he tosses in a definition, work as an opportunity for discovering and shaping the place where the self meets the world. And I like giving that away to leaders that I coach because I want them to step all the way back and say, man, we spend a heck of a lot of time at work. And we care about results like crazy. But is there more? What is the meaning behind showing up? And why is it so important to be a human involved in doing great work for great purposes, for great results? Leaders, if you can get onto that thing, you can rock your organization and delight your stakeholders. So it's kind of theoretical, but he's a great writer, David White. And then lately, two books I've been giving away, especially to clients. One is Navigating Polarities, using both and thinking to lead transformation. And man, do we live in a time of polarization. So just the idea that mature leaders can stay out of either or, and you're the other, and I'm me, traps, and find not just a balance between this and that, but like an integration at a new point. It becomes a whole new thing. They call it a third way. And it's revolutionary for me personally because I see them in my personal life. It's very applicable personally. But man, for leaders, it's awesome. And one more, sorry, you said one, can't do it. It's called Unlocking Leadership Mind Traps, How to Thrive in Complexity. And it just names 5 places where we are actually biologically wired to go that are traps. They just box us into a corner and we are getting in our own way, and we have to learn to recognize, oh man, I'm in one of those again, and then develop the skills and counter moves. Often those counter moves are pretty counterintuitive and really cool stuff.
All right, we got a 3-for-1 there. I appreciate that. Starting on fire. So tell me a story of how an apparent failure set you up for later success.
Yes. Well, every failure has set me up for success because I believe nothing is wasted in the universe. I say that with caution because I know people have suffered trauma, and people in Ukraine probably right now aren't saying, yeah, everything works out for a purpose. Okay. Still, the biggest quote failure was when I needed to take a job as a cashier at Target between consulting gigs as a coach. And in everyone's eyes, man, that was a failure because people would come through my line recognizing me for when I was a 6-figure executive working in Manhattan, and they would have that head whiplash. Like, what the heck? I cannot put together Chris Thyberg in the red Target t-shirt. It's making no sense. But it was transformative because there I was. I had nobody to lead but me. I had no team. I had no staff. I had no standing on an org chart. All I could do was make your experience, Jonathan, as kind and welcoming and calm and respectful as I could. And in fact, I could only offer it to you. Man, if you came in on your cell phone and you didn't even want to look at me, I had to roll with that. If someone comes in, a baby in one arm and a toddler screaming on her leg, I've got to convey, no judgment from me. I don't know your backstory, but maybe if I can write the next few lines into your story that are grace and compassion, and you were served as best as I possibly could. And from coming of a place where someone would say, you're just a servant, man, that's lowly. I coach in an entirely different way because I've been an exec and I've been a cashier. And I think the cashier has set me more up to be a coach that gets really great results with my client.
How did being a cashier set you up to serve your clients better?
Yeah, well, okay. So the setup then is this, that I am to be a great coach. I need to be fully present. The agenda is entirely the clients. I use a metaphor. They are pregnant with the next great leader they are. I'm just a midwife. It's their baby. I can't have it for them. And so to be fully present, as I was trying to be fully present and offer that to every guest coming through my line. No judgment. That's coaching. Listening on all channels. What vibe can I read from this person in my cashier line that I might tap into to give them a better experience? Well, what vibe am I picking up from my client so I can ask the next right question? And finally, like I was saying, I don't know the backstory of who's standing in front of me in the target line. I got to trust intuition, call it the spirit, to say whatever is the next right thing I should do, it's going to be clear. And so to sit there with a client and I don't get stressed, oh man, what's the right question to ask right now? It's just, hey, we're here, we're human, we're present, we're open, we're curious. The right question's going to come. Just trust intuition, trust the spirit, trust the process, however you want to call it. And that's how I connect those dots.
What would you say is the most worthwhile investment you have ever made?
I'm going to, again, so I give two answers. One is on the personal level. When I invested in becoming my son's soccer coach when he was 5, I loved the game. I knew enough to know I couldn't play the game well. I stopped after high school and did not continue in college. But to do that with David, and now he plays in a serious club. He coaches an elite young men's travel team. He's the coach at his high school. And what he is doing in coaching is not only to instill a love and a real skill with the game, he's forming these young men's lives. And man, was that the best investment I could make personally. Professionally, to go full out, full metal to pursue my coaching certification at Georgetown University. Not name dropping, go Hoyas, cohort 65 forever. No, it was a commitment because I knew in that program I would get everything I need for the craft of coaching. But the demand was that I would transform in my character, who I am as a coach, not just what I can do, the person I show up as. And so to make that investment, I am ready to have this turned upside down, inside out, and I'm just going to love it to death when I do this. And it's not like going to grad school where I had to get an A+ and commit. Totally different gig. I'm down for it.
What are some bad recommendations you hear in your area of expertise?
Number 1, coach the problem. Don't worry about the person. It's exactly wrong. Coach the person and don't focus so much on problem, although there is pain. There is blockage and barriers to the results they want most. I mean, they long in their hearts for these results, both in doing in the outside world to get great stuff of real value done, but a longing on the inside for who they are, what they're becoming. The problems are going to emerge, but let's also spend as much time with the possibility and the promise and like the superpowers they already have. Let's not just come at this as a deficit and I hate where I am, I got to run away to someplace else. Let's start with all the assets and then where you want to go because you love what that is going to be.
Are you enjoying the interview? Yeah, I had to jump in here for a second and ask you, if you've been listening for a while and you haven't subscribed to this show, why not? go to wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Results Leader FM, and hit the subscribe button. That way you never miss another episode. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump back into the interview. Here's a biggie. Why do results matter?
Great question. I approach all this from the framework of what's known in the literature as servant leadership from Robert Greenleaf. I like to phrase that as serving wisely in order to lead well and leading courageously in order to serve well. So results matter because if we just have like kumbaya, let's serve, let's all be relational, let's get along. Results don't matter. We just love each other. Let me serve you, brother. Let me serve you, sister. People aren't wired that way. People want meaning. People want purpose. This is David White's book. Work is where the self meets the world. We do so darn much of it. It better count for something, right? So without results, people are like, well, this team's really fun, but I'd like to find a team that wins. And then if you're on a team that like, we got to win and crush the competition, and you little worker, if you can't help us win, adios. Well then, don't exactly want to be on that team either. See, results move at the speed of relationships, but results absolutely matter. Now, the metaphor I like to use about this in coaching is the results are this beautiful fruit on the tree, nutritious, tasty, awesome, real value to people. In fact, contributes to people's flourishing, right? Those are the results. But they come from a healthy root system, right? And if the root system is not growing and flourishing, we can stick wax fruit on the dead branches all we want. And it's still not results that people will spend money for, people will spend time for, people will use their attention capital for, and it won't add to the life of the world. And I'm in this game of dropping my pebble in with leaders that will ripple out for the life of the world, for human flourishing, because results that really matter and create true value are being brought in by teams of people who, leaders who serve wisely in order to lead, and they're courageous leaders because sometimes it just sucks and it's hard to be the leader. And you got to have some courage to do it.
No doubt about that. In the last 5 years, what new realization has helped you get better results for your clients?
I can't journey with a client anywhere that I'm not already going myself. And it doesn't mean I'm ahead of them. It doesn't mean I'm better than them. This is not a evaluative performance competition thing. But if I am not on the developmental journey to perfect my craft, and hone my character as a human, seeking to be as compassionate and effective and of service to my clients, we can't go as far as that client could go. So the biggest thing I've learned is do the inner work, do the root stuff. For me, for every leader I talk to, for every follower to be a great follower, it's inside out change.
What area of your business would you like better results?
I'd like everyone in the sound of my voice to connect up with me and become a client.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm building the business right now. And remember I talked about polarities at the beginning and how important. So I'm trying to get to these great results, and I would define them as clients who are really value aligned with what I've been saying, clients who want to do that deeper work to get to great results, and that I am the one who will serve them. The me that only I can be as coach is right for them, and they are going to grow me. Okay, that's really good results in my world. Now, to get there, I have to manage this polarity of being diligent, working hard, being creative, taking risks, being strategic. Just grind, get out there and just show up every day, even when nobody returns a call and 3 conversations of, yeah, but I'm not really ready for coaching now. Come back tomorrow. It's another day. Come back. That's one pole. The other pole is hold everything lightly and joyously. That's where my results will come from. And they synthesize for me, my third way is just 2 words: trust well. That's how I will have that organic progression to just the right clients for these beautiful, transformative, mutually transformative experiences together. The well part is all that: work hard, be diligent. And the trust is hold it lightly and joyously. Don't obsess. Don't freak out. Don't overthink. Don't overreach. But they're not going to fall out of the sky, these clients. And so that, I've named an area that, yes, is in the outside world, like really doing good business development and marketing. And I've named an area of my business, which is about me. Perfect example of how the inner game to get results and the outer game of the results you get are inseparable. And man, I want every leader, everyone responsible for producing real value in the world, to get it. Get a coach, whether it's me or not. And don't get a coach that says, I'll actually help you. I'm going to introduce myself and say, like the stupid people who reach out on me in LinkedIn and say, I see that you're a leadership coach. I can get you to a 6 and 7 figure income if you follow my magic system. And I go, on that. So leaders out there listening, do your homework, find someone qualified who can do some serious work and is not promising snake oil, because anybody can throw out a coaching shingle there. There is a thing called the International Coaching Federation. Make sure your coach is credentialed with it. Make sure they've been certified by a qualified program, or else you're buying snake oil.
What results are you most proud of?
By bringing everything I've said home to my personal life and not compartmentalizing them. Those produce the results I'm most proud of. I want to clarify, I don't coach anybody in my family, because when I do, they say, Chris, would you please stop that? You are my husband, not my coach. Just cut it out. Yep, got it, honey. Right with you. But I'm coming on 46 years of being married. I have 3 adult grown children I named just David. Hannah's a neonatal ICU nurse. Christopher's getting his doctorate in social work. And they have great partners and spouses. And they are building things of real value that create results in the world that matter. And, that's absolutely what I'm most proud of.
Any parting thoughts you'd like to share with the results leaders who are hearing our voices right now?
And maybe you can drop some of this in the show notes, including a couple pictures. But I find for myself and most leaders, the biggest barrier to results is that we are constantly getting in our own way. We're tripping over our own feet. We've got habits and ways of doing things that maybe got us here, and they've really worked, and we should love them and appreciate them. They are not going to get us to the next place. And in fact, to keep leaning in and doubling down on that stuff that used to work, we are getting in our own way. Now, there are a lot of what coaching is about is here's how you can notice and catch in an instant. Oh, I'm doing it again. That's way number 37 that I get in my own way. And then have the tools to say, first of all, just have a good laugh. There's Jonathan doing 37 again. Man, what a piece of work. He's getting in his way. But then just a whole bunch of gentleness and compassion for yourself. No need to beat us up. And then we just let it go. We release it and we move into, we've noticed it. It's kind of catch and release. We catch the little fishy. Okay, there you go. Put it down in the water. It swims away. And we go on with the more productive, useful ways of being and doing that. To round out the metaphor, I guess, catch that monster trophy fish that we're going to mount on the wall.
Ah, man, I know our listeners are entertained and they're going to want some more from you. So where can they get it?
The website is theservingway.com. It is a generation older than who I am and what I do. New one's coming. The LinkedIn profile is very robust. And I'm sure you'll put in the rest of the notes. I'd like people to reach my personal email if they want, like, really the real deal between us. And so that's Chris_Thyberg at hotmail.com. Yes, I'm giving away my age.
Hotmail.
And Chris_Thyberg at hotmail.com. We'll get in touch. And in my signature, good links and my Calendly scheduler link so people can just book times that are convenient for them.
Absolutely. We will share all of the information in the show notes. We've been talking with Mr. Chris Thyberg. Thank you for being with us. And thank you, results leaders, for tuning in. We will be back in your earbuds next time. That is a wrap for another edition of resultsleader.fm. If you are out there getting results for your clients and you want to be featured on the show, go to resultsleader.fm now and apply to be on the show. And if you love what you're hearing, share the show, give us a rating and review, do anything to help us get the message out there. Thought leadership is easy, but results leadership is hard. We'll catch you on the next one.
This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.